Hey guys, it's Benton Palmer with Grill This, Smoke That. I'm working with Lane's Barbecue, showing you some of my favorite things to make on my griddle. Today we're starting with everyone's favorite, Smashburgers. My family requests these all the time. We make them at least once a week, and it's one of my most popular things that I ever make videos for. So when you're making burgers, you're gonna need certain tools to accomplish the job, and I'm gonna show you the ones that are my favorites. So I like the spatulas. Find a set that's a little bit flexible, but not too flexible. You're gonna need a burger smasher. I like one with a big, flat, smooth surface, no screws, no dimpling or anything, with a substantial handle, and that's gonna make it a lot easier to smash. Another thing I like to use is parchment paper. If you put that between the smasher and the meat, it keeps it from sticking to your smasher and just makes things a little bit easier. And then I like to wear nitrile gloves while I'm making my burger patties, and I like those burger patties to be even, so I typically use a food scale to make sure that they're all about the same size. Then you also need your seasonings. Today we're gonna be using the Lane's Barbecue Cubano and a good sauce. And one of the sauces that I love is to mix the Lane's Kinda Sweet and the Sorta White in a 50-50 mix, and put those on my burgers, and it gives a really nice finish. Whenever you're making burgers, it is essential to have everything ready before you start cooking because the process goes very quickly. Today we're gonna have some toppings on our burger. We're gonna do some sweet Vidalia onions and some jalapenos. Also, we have some mushrooms that are pre-sliced. That makes it a lot easier when you're prepping. We have our cheese. One of my favorites is Colby Jack. Then we have our ground chuck. This is from my local butcher shop, TNT Meats. And I also grabbed some bacon from TNT Meats as well. I have a digital scale here because when I'm making my smash burgers, I like to do about a 3-ounce ball of meat. Once you get the hang of it, you don't always need the scale, but it's nice to start with and get everything consistent.
When you're forming the balls for the smash burgers, you don't want to pack them in too tight. So I just loosely grab the meat and then just form it into a circle or a little spear. I'm not really packing it in tight because I want those lacy edges after I put it on the griddle and smash it.
Now that we're done with the prep, we're gonna move over to our griddle, and I'm going to start by turning it on. We're gonna be going with a couple of different heat zones today. So the nice thing about a griddle with multiple burners is you can kind of control the heat over each zone independently. So I'm gonna have this right-hand side a little bit hotter. That's where we're gonna be eventually doing our beef. And on the other side, we're gonna be doing our vegetables and our bacon. So they're gonna be around medium while this one's on medium-high. All right, so we're gonna have tater tots as our side, and we're gonna put them on first. These have been sitting on the counter for about 30 minutes, so they're partially thawed. So the first thing we need to do is add some oil, and we're doing this on our hotter side of the griddle. And then we're gonna dump our tater tots right into the oil. And now I'm just gonna take my spatulas and toss them around in the oil. After you get your tater tots down and spread out evenly, you can season them with Lane's Cubano. We're gonna do bacon on our burgers. So we have some thick cut bacon from TNT Meats. And I usually use 1 strip per burger. So we got 6 strips total, just to always have a little extra. For your tater tots, every few minutes, just toss them around till they're golden brown on every side. The first time I ever cooked with Lane's at a burger competition, we won first place in the People's Choice, and the sauce we used was half of their Kinda Sweet. And the other half was the Sorta White sauce. So about a 50-50 ratio there, and then get it mixed up. And this makes a really good sweet and spicy, savory sauce for your burgers. So you've got that delicious bacon grease on your griddle now. We're gonna put our vegetables down in it so we don't have to add any other kind of oils. And again, sticking with the Lane's Cubano on the vegetables. So when you're cooking on a griddle, you want to keep everything away from the edges. The edges on every griddle brand are going to be a little bit cooler. So you'll notice I keep a 2 to 3 inch buffer around all the corners. Mushrooms only take a short amount of time to cook, so I never put them on with the other vegetables. We're gonna add them now in some of that bacon grease, and then we're gonna start sliding everything down to the left side of the griddle so we can get our burger smashed. So now that most things on the left side of the griddle are done, we're gonna keep it warm by leaving it on the griddle, but I'm gonna turn off the gas burners. Once again, before you smash your burgers, get everything else done, so we're gonna go ahead and toast our buns. Everything else is done. It's time to get ready to smash our burgers. I'm going to use my bench scraper to remove all the grease from the griddle. If you have your griddle dry, you're gonna get a better crust on your burgers. For the burgers, I'm going to take my balls of meat and put them on the griddle. I'm gonna put parchment paper on top and smash them into the griddle. I'm gonna hold for about 5 seconds, pressing really hard, and then I'm gonna move on and repeat the process for all 8 of the burger balls. Then I'm gonna season them. I'll immediately start flipping the burgers. Then we'll put cheese on, we'll double patty, and it's time for our burger. So I always think about how much surface area I have for my burgers. I can usually do 3 in a row, so I'm gonna have 3, 3, and 2. So I'm gonna start over here. I'm gonna put it down, put my parchment over it, and then get the smasher down, hold it for about 5 seconds, and then release. And you see how we have the laciness in it where you can see through it. That's what you're looking for. Now we're coming in with the Lane's Cubano seasoning over the top of each of the patties. This goes really quick, so these are ready to be flipped now. You're gonna take the edge of your spatula and go in from the side and make sure you get all of the crust along with the patty. Then you immediately come in with a piece of cheese on each slice. We're gonna double patty these, so if you want less cheese, you can just put cheese on half of them. So I take the ones that have the meltiest cheese and put them on top of a different patty because it's gonna help melt that bottom layer. Then we come over to our buns with that 50-50 sauce. And I'm gonna go sauce on the top and the bottom. I love the burger to hang over the side of my bun. If you don't, you can smash them a little less or use a little bit smaller meatballs. But this is how we love them. Now we're gonna add our bacon. Again, I told you we did 6 pieces so that we can get 3 strips on each burger, gets you maximum coverage. Now that these are all cooked, I'm gonna combine them together. Then we just add the top buns. All right, guys, my family is waiting for me inside. It's time for that first bite. You know we've got tons of flavors in here. I love the kick of the jalapenos. The seasoning's perfect, crispy bacon. Let's eat, y'all. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the Griddle series with Lane's Barbecue. I hope you like these cooks and you learned a few things about how to make some great food for your family. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section. They will reply, or you can find me at Grill This, Smoke That on any of the socials. And I always love sharing things that you can cook for your family. I always respond to DMs and to my comments, so I'd love to help you out. You can find any of the products that we use today on lanesbarbecue.com, and I hope you guys have a great day.